Watch as these culinary McClellanites spice things up in the McChopped kitchen. With our McC Prefect judges and our guest judge, Campbell FitzHugh, we've got quite the show for you. This is McChopped. We have 6 chefs ready to tackle the appetizer round, starting off with Allison.
Hi, I'm Allison Howard, and I'm from Lumberton, New Jersey. I'm a 4th former. I don't have very much time to cook, but when I'm not cooking up something in the kitchen, I'm cooking up some awesome schoolwork. But other than that, I'm also a varsity cross-country, indoor track, and softball player. When I'm home, sometimes I help my mom make dinner, and I like to dig up some recipes and get creative. I do tend to, drop some stuff on the floor sometimes. Hopefully I don't do that this time, but yeah, we'll see.
Sit here. Hi, I'm Anna. I am a 3rd former. I've always loved to cook, always wanted to be on a cooking show, so being on McChopped just is like a dream come true for me. But you could say that my ego was a little high when I was younger. Thought my cooking was legit. But as I've aged, as I've progressed in my cooking skills, I've definitely improved. I never stop cooking, ever. That's 24 hours a day. I am in that kitchen. I am slaving away. Except occasionally I'll play field hockey and lacrosse, or I'll play the ukulele, but otherwise, cooking is my true passion.
Meet Sabrina.
I'm a 4th former. I'm from Mulligan Hill, New Jersey. When I'm not cooking, you can find me on the tennis court playing tennis, or playing with my dog, or playing the drums, or the xylophone, which is probably my favorite instrument in percussion. I have a twin sister, and I'm younger than her by 8 minutes. I'm still like a quarter inch or maybe like half centimeter taller than her. Is that okay?
Next, Yendi.
I'm from Kingston, Jamaica. I'm in 4th form. When I'm not cooking, I'm just sleeping. Cooking is kind of just something I do. I don't think I'm really great at it. I can't promise not to burn the kitchen down, but I'll make a considerate effort not to. I like to make eggs, and I make a mean bowl of cereal.
Now, Laura.
I'm from Yardley, Pennsylvania, and I'm a 4th former. I love to play lacrosse and soccer, and I am a lefty. My dad got me in the kitchen a couple of times to help him cook. It was pretty fun, but he also did most of the work. So we'll see how I can do this by myself. I've actually never cooked by myself before, and I'm not very good, so we will see how this goes.
And last but not least, Emily.
Hi, my name's Emily Hammond. I'm from Lawrenceville, New Jersey. I'm in the 3rd form, and I love making food because food makes people happy, and I like to make people happy. When I'm not cooking, I'm either sleeping, fencing, or writing plays. If I win this competition, I'm gonna go to Disney World to celebrate and then open a food truck and go to Mount Rushmore.
Hey girls.
Hey Delaney.
Hey Delaney!
For tonight's episode, you each will be creating an appetizer dish and will have 30 minutes to do so. You must incorporate these 4 ingredients: plain salted potato chips, black beans, sour cream, and grape jelly Uncrustables.
I'm a little bit nervous about the sour cream because of how different it is from the Uncrustable.
Oh my god, the sour cream.
One issue I had was with the Uncrustable. It has peanuts in it, which means it's not friendly for everyone who has a nut allergy.
I wish you all the best of luck, and the clock starts now.
I think I should win this competition because I'm going into it not having a clue what I'm doing in the kitchen. But I believe in myself, and I think I'm going to be able to make amazing dishes.
Can I have some potato chips?
Dad, stop. I use the sour cream in the creamy salsa to make it creamy, and then I added the black beans into that as well. And then for the peanut butter dip, I used the peanut butter and I used the jelly as this to make it sweet. Instead of using honey, I used the jelly. And I used the bread of the Uncrustables to make my chips, and then I put crushed potato chips on top to make them salty.
I'm going to get as much bean taste out of these beans as I possibly can. My favorite thing to cook is sesame chicken. I got into cooking because cooking is something I like to do and it's fun to learn and experiment in the kitchen. And my cooking style is adventurous. Today I made you a protein-packed peanut patty. The Uncrustable is the base of my dish, with black beans surrounding it to add in some protein and flavor. Then I take the chips and I crunch them up and put them around the patty with the help of flour and egg to stick. Then I put it in the air fryer to let it become crispy and gooey on the inside, put some sour cream on top, and my dish is done. Now that I've preheated my air fryer, which I got for Christmas, thank you Grandma, for 5 minutes, I'm going to stick in my Uncrustable patties and let them cook.
Cooking is kind of just something I do. I don't think I'm really great at it. I can't promise not to burn the kitchen down, but I'll make a considerate effort not to. Okay, so I use the potato chips to kind of just like dress the plate, and I put sour cream in the center as a dip for both the potato chips and the quesadillas, and I top that off with cilantro. And then for the black beans, I put those into the quesadillas, so you could get the spicy beef and black bean quesadillas. And then for the PB&J Uncrustables, I had a little sandwich part of the platter where I had PB&J and cheese, homemade cheese Uncrustables.
Please help me welcome our esteemed panel of judges. If you had to make a dish with these ingredients, what would you make?
I would never make anything with these ingredients.
I think I would make a tostada with these ingredients, because I know that Emily is using the Uncrustable as a base, and with the tostada you kind of use like a crunchy shell type base, and then on top of that, like I usually put like beans, avocado, some lettuce, and sour cream. So this is literally the only thing that it would be different I would have to prepare the Uncrustable a certain way, maybe like bread it with the chips and then fry it. I think that's what Emily is doing, but I would do something like that because then I would just put all the ingredients on top, and it would be like a tostada, which is something that I eat often.
I think you'd have to think of them all as like components and add in something. You have to add in something, like whether you want to have a protein or like a meat protein, or like some other focal point to the dish, and then have everything else around it, like amplifying that, because you don't really have a focal point like with this, and everybody's trying to use the Uncrustable, but I think if you want to be a little bit more creative, using something else and like amplifying it with all the ingredients would be smart.
Campbell, if I'm correct, you almost burned down a building while cooking, yes? Could you tell us a bit about that?
I was making mac and cheese, and I forgot. I was like, oh, I'll just put it in the microwave and leave for a second and come back. But I actually forgot to put water in my easy mac and cheese, and then I left, and it caught on fire, and there was smoke everywhere, and the fire alarm went off, and the entire dorm had to evacuate to the bowl, and it was very embarrassing.
Pause. You didn't put water to boil your noodles?
Gotta go to the fridge, grab tortillas and cheese. So and strawberries. Okay, so what I'm thinking about making for my appetizer is a tostada with black bean puree with some queso. Then I'm thinking of doing a strawberry and like tomato salsa with the grape out of the Smuckers, like Uncrustables, and then a lime and sour cream crema, and then panko fried avocado. I chose to compete in McChopped because 1, I know I'm a great cook. 2, I want to make my friends and family proud. 3, I'm a great cook. Did I say that already? 4, I'm a fantastic cook. And 5, I'm a awesome cook.
This is my recipe for my Mexican pancake bites, and here are all of my ingredients. I was a little nervous about the Uncrustable part of the required ingredients because it was kind of messing up my Mexican vibe that I wanted to bring on the dish. But I think it's okay now as a garnish, and it really tied it all together. A fun fact about me is I actually just lost my last baby tooth last week. You want to see? I still have the tooth. Hopefully the tooth fairy will come soon.
This Yin Yang Dip was inspired by like the usual chips and that comes with like cheese dip that you can get as an appetizer at restaurants. And you know, this being an appetizer round, I was like, oh, perfect. So I toasted the Uncrustable to make the outside a little bit crunchier so it would be easier to dip it in the actual dip. And the dip consists of the sour cream and the black beans. If I win this competition, if I win McChopped, the first thing I will do is to tell Tiff to prove to her that I'm a better cook than her, and then I'll use the experience and everything that I adapted to in McChopped and take that into my future cooking and baking endeavors.
3 minutes left.
I have 3 minutes left and I didn't even start my peanut butter dip yet. I'm really stressed out. I really just have to throw everything into this food processor and get it all mixed together so I have at least something with the peanut butter and jelly in it that I can present to the judges.
Okay, so we had about 3 minutes left on the clock and I was feeling pretty confident. Most of my stuff were done and I was like ready to start plating and everything. And then in the last like 30 seconds, I was going to top everything with cilantro to like give it a nice pop and flavor and whatnot. And I had just done my nails and I couldn't open the cilantro. I couldn't open the cilantro and it took the entire time for me to actually open it. I had to cut the bag open with a knife for me to reach in and grab the cilantro.
In the last 3 minutes, I was feeling good. I had taken out my patties from the air fryer, which had cooked them perfectly, and put them on the plate.
I was a little nervous about the Uncrustable part of the required ingredients because it was kind of messing up my Mexican vibe that I wanted to bring on the dish. But I think it's okay now as a garnish, and it really tied it all together.
Those Uncrustables, man, they never had one, and these were part frozen, part soggy, really disgusting, and there was barely any jam there. I was shocked.
I'm having a little bit of trouble shaping the yin yang because I'm having like a little trouble remembering what it's supposed to look like. And I also thought it was going to be easier to shape the sour cream and black bean into the yin yang shape that I wanted it to be or planned to be when I first started this competition.
Only 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands up, ladies.
I actually feel fantastic. I tasted along the way. Everything has exuberant flavor. It's nice, sweet, salty, spicy, crispy. You know, it's got all the categories, the 4 categories, you know? And so, I don't have the sour.
I was really happy with my protein-packed peanut patty, and I was excited that these 4 new ingredients had created something I never would have created without them.
Hey judges! For this round of competition, our contestants were challenged to make an appetizer dish using these 4 ingredients: plain salted potato chips, black beans, sour cream, and grape jelly Uncrustables. Because our judges are unable to taste the dishes, our contestants' family and friends tasted them for us. Let's see how that went. First up, we have Allison with her dad tasting.
Now comes the fun part, the tasting. So, my dad's gonna try my lovely dish today. And now, I'm gonna try to convince him that pancakes are not any different than a flour tortilla.
Hi, I'm Allison's dad. I'm here to try this delicious dish.
Yep. Now try to keep all 3 layers together.
Yep. Kept them together.
So that you get a little bit of taste.
Yep. The pancakes don't go very well with avocados,
Really?
but they taste very good.
Good.
It's interesting.
Oh?
I don't usually put taco sauce on my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but it's pretty good.
Oh, it's good? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, something different. I think you should make this for the entire McClellan House.
Okay, so moving on. What do you think about my incorporation of black beans and avocado in this dish?
Well, they go well together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mexican works. It's actually not all that different than a flour tortilla. You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
A
Similar.
little bit sweeter, maybe.
Do you think the taco sauce adds to it? If we didn't,
I think it's a little overpowering. I might do a little less taco sauce.
Judges, what do you think about Allison's pancakes?
When I saw her cutting into it, I was like, okay, that looks pretty good.
I feel like her dad kind of made it obvious that the taco sauce and the peanut butter and jelly maybe didn't go as together as well as it could have, which I think, at least I was assuming that would be the case.
I feel as if maybe she would have had a better chance of like keeping everything together. Maybe if she smushed the black beans and kind of like put it on the pancake as like a paste instead of kind of just throwing them on there. So like if you take a bite, like all of the beans wouldn't fall out. Because I'm thinking about how I would eat this, and I feel like I would cut it, everything would fall out, and then I'd have to like stab everything with my fork and then shove the whole thing in my mouth.
Next up, Sabrina and her parents.
Hello judges, today I made a Yin Yang Dip.
Okay, we're back and we're doing the taste test. So we have mom and dad here and they're gonna try Sab's Yin Yang Dip.
Wow, it looks so beautiful.
So creative.
Yes.
So delicious.
Let's be honest, okay? Okay.
It looks good.
One bean. Okay. Oh wow, mom's going for all of it. Oh, she's going for that sour cream and the bean. Let's see.
You just messed up the yin yang.
Very, very good.
You should try the Uncrustable. I don't know how the Uncrustable will taste.
The sour cream is nice and cold. So to go with the chips is actually
excellent.
Creamy and it's nice and cold.
Yeah, no, the creamy and then the bean, it just makes a good
combination.
Yeah, good combination of the.
Okay.
The pastry has a crust on the outside.
The Uncrustable.
Has a nice crust
Try it.
and brown on the outside, and it's soft and gooey on the inside.
Wow.
Oh.
Really good.
You try it with the dip.
Yes.
You can try it with the dip.
Wow. With the dip?
Well, you can try.
Well, that's a point. I'm not
This is good with the toast.
for all of it.
Oh, she dipped it in the sour cream. How's that make?
Sabrina's Yin and Yang Dip.
Yeah, I liked the presentation. It was very clean. You could clearly see the yin and yang, and the Uncrustables were on the side, looking all toasty and crunchy, which I love. So I think presentation has a lot of points for this candidate.
I just think there was a little bit of a disconnect between. It looked very cool. I saw the yin and yang. I liked the presentation with the Uncrustables in the corners, but it was just simply the ingredients on the plate. And maybe I missed something, but I don't think there was much done with the sour cream or the beans, or the chips, quite frankly. So obviously they liked it.
Now Emily, with her parents and a special guest.
Judges, today I made you a protein-packed peanut patty. All angles of my protein-packed peanut patty are delicious looking. Even my dog loves these protein-packed peanut patties. Judge number 2, I present the perfect appetizer before a party. Get the protein running through people's bodies before they start dancing.
Okay. Smells like protein. Very visually appealing. Even matches the McClellan colors. Very thoughtful. Nutty. This is the best Uncrustable I've ever tasted.
Thank you, Judge. Judge number 3, whose opinion in this house is the only one that matters. I present to you my protein-packed peanut patty.
You want me to eat it now?
Yes.
Crispy. Sticky. Not bad. Wonder if we can get these into Starbucks.
What do you think about Emily's protein-packed peanut patties?
And they both seem to like it based off of their words. I think the presentation could have been a little bit cleaner. I think I would take a bite of it.
I think I would also take a bite out of it, but I think I would be a little scared because usually biting into something, the chips are on the outside and the chips are on the crust. But usually if I bite, I don't know, what if a chip is standing up and I bite into it and pokes me? That's my concern. I don't want to be poked by the chip. But other than that, I think it looks really good.
I think the whole point of Chopped is to incorporate the ingredients so that you know what's in there, but at the same time, they're not awkward. And I think if I took a bite of this, I might have some sirens going off in my mouth.
I could say if I saw it on a table, I'd probably eat it. But once I learned of the ingredients, I probably wouldn't.
I feel like it does look like something I could get at Starbucks, on the little pastry window thing, I'd be like, oh my god, it's so good. But I feel like once I took a bite, I don't know, I think my tongue would be a little confused by the flavors. I don't know.
Next, Laura with her dad.
Hello judges, today I made creamy salsa with black beans, a peanut butter and jelly cream dip, and white bread salty chips.
Okay, first the cream dip. I taste some peanut butter, some ginger. It's actually good. It's like an exotic Caribbean thing. This looks fancy. I see spices in there. Even better. That's not bad. This is good. I don't think I'd be able to sell that in a restaurant. This you might be able to. Oh, it's not just an Uncrustable. There's something on it. Potato chips. That's good.
What about Laura's chips and dips?
Okay, he seemed genuinely surprised that it was good. So I kind of believe that he really enjoyed that. Especially, it was like the second reach for the food.
It looks like sausage Super Bowl dip that I have been Super Bowl.
And the honesty. He was honest about not really liking the first one as much as the second one. And at first he was like you could tell he was kind of covering it up with the first one, but then he took the bite of the second one, he was like, wow, this one's really good. Well, I don't know if she added ginger or if that's just how it tasted, but I think maybe if she were to do this again, she'd only do one dip.
Yeah, and I feel like that takes skill to like make those into chip form. It's like they're very soft, so she probably had to do some manipulation in that area.
Now Anna with her neighbor.
Hello judges, today I've made for you a avocado bean tostada. It sounds very simple, but it's actually quite intricate. I made a fried tostada. On top of that, I did a cilantro, hot sauce, and black bean puree. On top of that, I did a strawberry, cilantro, and tomato salsa, and that's where I incorporated the grape jelly. And next, I did, on top of that, I did a cabbage slaw with some hot peppers and some sour cream. And then on top of that, I drizzled some lime crema. And I also added panko and potato chip crusted avocado. So Judge, what do you think?
This is an amazing dish. I love it so much. I would definitely try it again. I think that the beans need a little more something to them, like a little more, maybe like sourness. And I think that avocado is the best. It's amazing. It's fried very well. The salsa is delicious. I think that maybe if you added a little more lime, then it would be perfect. And yeah, it's delish. I love it so much.
What are y'all's thoughts on Anna's tostada?
The color combination kind of threw me off. I think it was the addition of the strawberries that's kind of throwing me off, because I think it looks good and then I see bright pink, and that just confused me when looking at a tostada.
Like, if we're thinking appetizer, you're at a party, let's say, you need a fork and like maybe a knife, and it's kind of just complicated in comparison to some of the other dishes that we had that were a little bit easier to eat, a little bit less messy, it seems. So something to think about.
I think I might be with Evelyn on the color. It's kind of confusing me a bit. It's kind of like I don't really know what to expect when I bite into it, so that might make me think like, oh, maybe I'm not gonna order that when I go to a restaurant, you know?
I kind of liked the color. Like there was so much color pop. You had your veggies, you had your fruit, you had your protein, you had your fats. Like it was honestly looks like something I would eat.
Unfortunately, Yendi didn't get any film of her father tasting her dish, but we do have his comments.
Hi judges, I made a hearty platter, which is spicy beef quesadillas with potato chips and sour cream and cilantro dip with PB&J Uncrustables and cheese Uncrustables.
Scared of this dish at first. I'm not a big fan of that type of food either, but Yendi had an excellent presentation, brilliant work overall. It looked really good. I really liked the texture and flavor profile of Yendi's sandwiches, and the plating was beautiful. The quesadillas were very flavorful, but Yendi shouldn't be afraid to use more spice and pepper next time around. Now, what about Yendi's party platter?
Wow, that looks really good.
So what's really catching my eye here is that the chips are just there, so, which is a little disappointing for me as a judge. But, and then I see the Uncrustables kind of on their own.
That quesadilla looks really good, like really good. And I agree with Evelyn. I feel like maybe the chips could have been inside the quesadillas. Sometimes I like a little crunch, like when I have a sandwich, I like to put chips in there because I like the crunch.
Yeah, I think it was plated very beautifully, like the presentation is great, but again, yeah, she didn't really, I wish she had incorporated all the ingredients together into one dish.
Now, whose dish is on the McChopped block? We'll find out after this short break. Welcome back, folks. Now, let's see which two dishes are on the McChopped block. Yendi, Sabrina, I'm sorry to say that you two have been McChopped. Judges.
Yendi. I really, really like the quesadilla. Like, that looks like something I would eat all the time. I like the sauce on top. It just like looked pretty. But the one thing that that was not vibing or clicking with us was the presentation of the Uncrustable and the chips. Some of us were talking about maybe incorporating the chips within the quesadilla, but then that would leave the Uncrustable and the sour cream just kind of there. So we would have liked to see more incorporation, like having the ingredients mix and work together rather than have them as like 3 separate appetizers on one plate.
Sab, I'm so sorry that today you've been McChopped. I really don't know where to start. I was really fighting for you in there, and we really loved your creativity. Loved the whole concept of the yin and yang and how you let that drive your whole thought process. But the one thing that really got us, and it was a beautiful picture on the plate. Wow, beautiful. One thing that really got us though was that, similar to Yendi, it was just kind of all the ingredients on the plate. There wasn't much cooking happening, and fortunately on Chopped, we have to judge on a little bit more than just the presentation and creativity within the presentation. So we're very sorry that we have to send you home today.
I'm kind of really sad about being eliminated. I just thought that I could have done better and that it wasn't really my best dish. And you know, maybe next time, maybe this year's not my year, but maybe another time, I'll be the winner of McChopped or some other cooking show.
Well, that's all we have for today. But make sure you join us next Thursday, February 4th for the dinner round, and Saturday, February 13th for the live McChopped dessert finale. You don't want to miss out on purchasing that McClellan milkshake merch. See you then!